Sit back, relax, and join William and Lee on their journey through the strange, and mysterious world.
And welcome to Season 2, Episode 9, Strange and Mysterious World. We have a really interesting guest tonight. And I really mean interesting this time around. Sharon Duff. This is going to be this is going to be something. I want to hear this. We are going to be communicating with an alien entity. This is exciting, but I'm really excited. We'll tell you, this is going to be a first for radio, man. It's a first first for podcast, not radio.
So Sharon Duff, she's a amazing psychic and healer. I've used her a few times. She's very talented at what she does. She does Akashic record reading. She does psychic. I've used it for a psychic reading and an energy clearing, distant one actually, because she lives in your neck of the woods, Lee. She lives there in Durban.
Okay.
And yeah, it was very cool. And she's very good. So she does channeling. So she says there's a few entities that she channels. So I was hoping that the alien one comes through, and she'll tell us all about it. But let's hope that that's the one that comes through tonight.
Fantastic.
And why did you say you were like, this one is interesting, like as if the other ones weren't interesting? What is the?
No, because sometimes I say this is going to be interesting, and then it like lands up being like not. It's like, what the fuck?
Okay, we'll see what happens.
Like, Jesus. Hey, you know what? Our last podcast, the one with the moon landing, it's got the second highest viewing.
Hey,
and we almost had $2 for the month, by the way.
Oh my gosh. Oh fuck. Okay, should I let Sharon in?
Let's bring Sharon on.
So wait.
Sweet man.
There we go. There's Sharon.
Hello. Hi, guys.
How's it, Sharon?
The light's a little bit fuzzy in here. I hope it's clear enough.
No, it's fine, man.
Yeah, it's flickering a little bit, but that's fine.
Yeah, as long as we can
Nice to
get the
meet
message.
you.
Nice to meet you too, Sharon.
Yeah,
Okay, so
it's lovely to meet you, Sharon.
yeah, so William's kind of given
Well,
given a little bit of an explanation about you, but out of your own words, I mean, how did you get on because you said you do some healing as well. So what set you on this path? What was your journey? How did it begin?
it's actually weird the way spirit works, because I always believe that everything happens exactly as it should. So I used to work in a corporate environment, and I met a lady when I was on my lunch break one day, and we started chatting. And at that time, I wasn't into anything esoteric. I didn't even really know anything about it. I had a very busy life. I had young kids. And she said, well, why don't you come to this discussion group? And you might just find it interesting. So I'm like, okay, I'll go, which I did. And here we are 20 years later or 25 years later. So it was actually as simple as that. That's just, yeah.
But what happened? What happened, Shane? Like, you can't just go to talk and then come home and be psychic.
Well,
I mean, I want to go to one of those talks. I can sign me up.
You should actually. Well, it was like one talk led to another talk, led to another talk. So basically the talk was held in what's called a developmental circle. Now, I know that you've had Heather on your podcast. I was listening to some of your earlier podcasts, and I was listening to your interview with her. And she talks a lot about the spiritual sanctuaries and stuff. So it's that environment. And they basically teach you. You'll have a teacher who will guide you and teach you and help you to find what your unique gifts are, your spiritual gifts. And some people are destined to be teachers, other are healers, other have an overlap. And yeah, that's basically it in a nutshell. And then just leaving corporate about 5 years ago and doing this full time and just absolutely loving it.
Are you finding yourself busy?
Sorry?
Are you finding yourself busy?
Yeah, once again, spirit just brings the right people at the right time. And depending on what they need, we just do what we can. It's all about service at the end of the day.
Okay.
But Sharon, did you have any did you notice you had something special about you, or like some kind of gift before you went to this this meeting, or did it just all happen after the meeting?
You know what, it was actually a long time ago, so I can't remember the absolutes. And I was thinking about it before we started chatting and thinking, you know, I was never one of those kids who saw spirit at the age of 5. I didn't have any weird encounters with spirit or anything, which is why I think that everything happens in divine timing. So my first sort of gift that came to light was the channeling. And I started seeing spirits. And then I actually started off as an artist, drawing spirit guides, drawing soul energy. And that's what I started doing. So I did that for about 15 years as a sideline business. But the channeling is the first sort of spiritual gift that showed itself.
Okay. And how did that happen?
Well, it's a process. So I think if it is something that it's a natural gift for you, you don't struggle too much to connect. But it's basically different people have different ways of channeling spirit. Some people will find that it's a bit scary because you've got to almost step away from yourself to allow spirit to enter. Sort of in the past, the way that spiritualists used to channel was almost through a trance. So their voice would change, their body shape would change. Sometimes you would see something called ectoplasm, which is almost like a very thick energy that comes out of their ears and mouth and nose. But it's like spirit has evolved from those times. So we're now, a lot of people are able to open trance. And in actual fact, everybody does open channel. So in other words, when you're just talking to someone, you know, you get those like moments of sort of epiphany where you're like, yeah, that was really amazing. I don't even know where that came from. That's channeling. But if you're going to channel spirit specifically, you would have to know like who your guides are. You'd have to know sort of how to step away from your own ego so your own mind doesn't start asking you crazy questions while you're trying to connect. But there is a little bit of a process that you go through when you're learning how to connect. It takes a little while to get there and to be completely comfortable, because there's a lot of trust involved. You got to literally be like, right, I'm open to whatever comes. I can't step in now and start cross-questioning spirit guides who come and channel, because then I'm getting in the way of the messages that they want to deliver. So once you're used to the process, you're used to feeling spirit using your body for different messages, also understanding that spirit itself is energy. So you are going to feel different guides have different energy. And yeah, it just kind of evolves from there. But it's definitely something that you practice and you practice and you practice.
Okay, and another question. Obviously, I don't know if you have this, if you've had this through your lifetime, you probably have. But do you not feel that there's a lot of religious institutions that would be against this type of thing? So obviously, you know, from a Christian point of view, or from a Catholic, or from Muslim, whatever, they would be against the certain channeling because of the dangers apparently that's involved with certain entities that may attach themselves to you and those kind of things. Do you ever worry about those things, or is that like kind of a non subject?
Well, you're always going to go through a certain, I'm going to say protection ritual. Ritual's not really the right word, but you protect yourself as a light worker. So a light worker is somebody who's working in the light, okay, and you understand, like at the sort of the space that I'm in now, because I've been doing this for so long, I just know that I am guided and protected always. But some people will choose certain ways to protect themselves. You can be open to all sorts of mischief makers. I have seen it happen. But channeling is not the only way that you can attract mischievous spirits to you. You know, you can get misguided information just by trying to draw a tarot card, or by using the pendulum, or all the other spiritual tools that are available to us. But that's why having a relationship with your spirit guides who are channeling through you, understanding and feeling in yourself what your guides feel like when they channel through you, and having that trust, and the trust in your ability as well. So you can open yourself up to all sorts, but that's why you don't mess around with this stuff. There has to be an element of respect as well. And even if you're using a tool like a Ouija board can be fantastic. As soon as you go into something and you've got the fear-based element attached to it, that in itself is blocking the flow. If you go in and you're like, I'm ready for you guys, let's do it, we work at it, we understand what it is, then I think it's cool. You know, it's a really wonderful way of being able to share information from spirit directly.
Okay. And then tell us a little bit about the alien entity that you deal with. What's the, is it a male, a female? What planet is it from? What's the background?
Okay, so I basically channel a collective called Zera. Zera is about, it changes from time to time. It's a collective. It has cosmic souls, which are your ETs that you are talking about. There are master guides in there. There are spirit guides. There are your souls who have just crossed over that are sort of looking to learn and to teach, but don't want to take on the role of a spirit guide, because there's a whole lot of things you could do when you do cross over. So I channel different, I call them cosmic guides, you calling them ETs. But what sometimes happens is when I tap into Zera, one of those entities will come forward, genderless. They are genderless. The only reason why they present themselves as an asex is because we are human.
How appropriate in this day and age?
Sorry, William?
I said, how appropriate in this day and age?
Genderless, absolutely. If only we were just so accommodating. We always want a name and a place and where are you from and what are you doing? But there is just so much information that comes through, and there are so many beautiful souls channeling cosmic guides at the moment.
Well,
so,
I suppose in the ethereal realm or astral realm, or whatever you want to call it, whichever realm these guys dwell in, you wouldn't need gender. I mean, gender is there basically for procreation. So once procreation is out of the window, gender becomes useless, actually. So it would be genderless there.
Yeah, even your angels, your archangels, all of those. And in fact, even you guys, myself, if we were to cross over, we actually become genderless because we are all form part of soul. It's only because as humans, we deal in this sort of three-dimensional reality where everything is facts and figures and linear. We need structure. So spirit is not going to try, because they want to reach us, they're going to kind of come down to our level so that we can understand, you know, and we have a shape and a form and a face and a name and a whatever. So I channel Acturian energy as well. I channel Nihal energy, which is quite interesting. This is all sort of 7th, 8th, sometimes 12th dimensional energy, which is interesting. It is a collective. Some of them I don't even know. There are mantis beings who come through sometimes, but it all really, really depends on who's looking for the information more than anything, because you're not going to have a 12th dimensional being come through to someone who's not ready for that information. So they are also selective, and also depending on the information, because you're going to get some cosmic guides who specialize in healing, like the Acturians. You're going to get others who are peacekeepers, like the Palladians. So you're going to get your different cosmic beings coming through, giving the message that we need to receive at that time. But because they come as a collective, I never really know who's coming through specifically. So we just channel whoever. That's how it works.
Okay.
Okay. So sorry, just to go back onto the genderless thing. In the universe, whatever, but isn't there like a masculine and feminine energy, even if it's not in humans, like around us? Like you could channel a masculine energy or a feminine, or like something like how the cosmic universe works is on a masculine, feminine energy kind of contrast, obviously a balance or whatever.
I think you're talking in terms of human lingo here. So yes, there would always be a need to be a balance. But in the astral, okay, which is kind of like the first level of soul, home for the soul, okay, you are not going to get, I am a male and I am a female. So if you think of us in terms of how we think and process as humans, we've got to be able to relate to whatever messages are coming through from spirit. So if somebody needs to think, okay, Archangel Michael represents power and cord cutting and protection, you're not going to have a feminine little lady coming through. You're going to envision that archangel being as powerful and strong. Okay, so because of that, over time, humans have created identities for these energies. So it's the same as if you look at the Galactic Federation, there are as many souls in there as anywhere else, but you will find, like, for example, Ashtar, Captain Ashtar comes through as a masculine energy because he's supposed to be represented as powerful and strong. But in actual fact, his energy is not like that at all. But because we are human, we have to identify with one or the other. It's just outside of our thinking to be able to think of it and accept it as any other way.
I suppose it's the same as how people see God. God in our views as a male, but it's actually not the fact. It's just because we're putting it into this powerful being that's created everything, and
and also in the Bible, it keeps on saying our Father, Father,
yeah,
Father,
correct.
Father.
So it's always been
We've been,
and
what's it called, wired
spirit
like
actually, spirit actually said really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter as long as at the end of the day we understand that every one of us is exactly where we are meant to be on our spiritual path, whatever doctrine or truth or religion you choose for yourself. And there's also the fact that we've all lived many lives. At least about 45% of people on the earth at the moment have lived as starseeds, which is your cosmic energy. They've lived on other planets, experienced other lives elsewhere. So we've all done this many, many times. And even on the earth, coming back here and going through the whole reincarnation loop over and over and over. The only reason why souls are doing that now is to clean up, because we've all been beggars and thieves and murderers and all the terrible things that we judge each other so harshly for. We've all been there and done that. So in actual fact, we have no rights to judge anybody else. And the starseed energy that's coming through, which is your hybrids, which are your earth DNA and your cosmic DNA blended, is coming through more and more and more. And that's why the world is going through such a lot of changes at the moment. So it's a very, very exciting time.
Okay, cool.
Right.
So now how do we get onto this? How do we start channeling?
Tilt your camera up a little bit, Leah, just chopping up your head there.
Hold on. What I could do is I could just drop down my chair.
Also, sorry, Sharon, just one last question before we get into the channeling. Do me and Lee have to protect ourselves with this channeling thing? And also, as yourself, what kind of protection things do you do? Do you do some kind of ritual? Do you have some salt, or what do you? Is there a way, if people at home, if they want to protect themselves, well, how would they protect themselves from certain entities or whatever?
Okay, so if you are receiving the channeling, you don't need to protect yourself. All right. If you are working as the channeler, whatever form of work you're doing, it is a good idea to protect yourself. The quickest, easiest way is to ask, please protect me. The other way to do it is to surround yourself in a bubble of light. Okay, you can ask angels, you can ask your own spirit guides. We all have guardian angels. We all have protector guides who help us. It is their function or their role as a spirit guide to do this for us. You can go elsewhere. You can get your dark crystals. You can program the crystal. In other words, you give it a job. This is to protect me. You keep it on your person. You can do a whole saging exercise with incense or actual white sage that is being dried, and you burn it, and you can use incantations like let this place be filled with love and light. So there's lots of different ways that you can protect yourself. But if you are ever worried, the quickest way to do it is literally pop yourself in a bubble of white light. Quick way of doing it. But you guys don't have to be scared or worried about anything. This is really, really a conversation. That's all it is.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, cool.
So
what
how do we
do
start?
do now?
How do we start?
All right, so you guys have to give me a minute because I just want to calm myself down
Okay.
a little bit. Okay. And remember, because it's a conversation, you guys are free to ask questions. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let us know when you're ready.
All right. We greet you this evening in your time, in your presence as one. And we say what a wonderful opportunity this is to be here at this time, sharing in this experience with you. And we say to you this evening that there is much knowledge to share with all of you, the collective, and we are honored to be sharing this time with you. We also say to you that we know that you have questions for us, and we would like to hear these, that this may be guided accordingly.
Okay. All right. So who are we talking to?
My name is Bathshiva. I represent Nihal. We are a stellar system that is 25,000 light years from Earth, northwards from your planet. We are a stellar system that comes with love and light always, and much knowledge to share. We are a part of the collective that helps many humans to connect with their light worker selves, always reminding them to be grounded and fun-loving in their ventures, as nothing is permanent. And I greet you with love.
The length of time that you've been with humanity, how long has that been?
There is no time here. There is no time, in fact. This is a human constraint that keeps you chained to your own reality. If you could imagine for a moment that you do not have these chains, that your life would be so free, that you would be able to move between timelines, as you call them, you would be able to visit anyone at any time. You would be able to live in many parallel universes at any one moment. And yet, in this space that you call Earth, in this timeline that you have chosen to exist, you are also existing in many parallel universes. So we can say to you that there is no time. We have been here sharing this experience with you for always.
Okay. So from the beginning of time, well, from the beginning of our time as we see it, we have had a lot of biblical texts, ancient texts, Sumerian texts. Have you guys been portrayed in any of those texts? Do they talk about you when we've received these writings?
We would say that many of the ancient writings have been lost, and some have been hidden, for it would create an enormous amount of fear amongst your kind. But having said that, there have been many encounters with us, although we do shift our shape to accommodate your earthly dimension. So what we mean by this is that we are peacemakers, and we are light bringers, and we are creators and co-creators. We have come behind many who have already started the process of ascension within your dimension. And we are looking forward to being more useful in this regard. So yes, we are recorded, as you say, and have been recorded, as you say. But we also ask of you to remember that not all is as you see it. There is much knowledge that has been hidden from you all.
What has been hidden that would scare us? You say that it's been hidden because it would scare us if we knew about it. What is that?
This would be technology. This would be ways to heal. Do remember that in your timeline, you are more advanced than the original man who was created by fellow star beings. And so, in this regard, just give me a sec here. In this regard, we say to you that at that time, the information that was shown would have been thought to be too advanced for the understanding of mankind at that time. But we do say to you, in this timeline, there are many of us who walk amongst you, just that we are in a different dimension, so you may not always be aware of us. But we do know fellow Arcturians and Syrians and Palladians who walk amongst you and are seen as such by many. However, not all doctrines and faiths and religions will accept this as truth. And so, at this time, we feel collectively that you are not ready just yet to accept us as we accept you.
Okay. Have you ever had a hand in changing the human destiny at all?
We cannot change the human destiny. The human destiny is based on free will. So free will always govern every thought and action and reaction that ripples through the multiverse, for there always will be a cause and effect. We cannot interfere with destiny.
How can we contact you?
Sorry, well, no, Karen, what?
How can we contact you like individually? Is there a way to like see one of you or contact you individually?
Yes, there are many who are Nihal starseeds, and we can describe ourselves to you if you like.
Yes, please.
We are in your height around 5 foot. We are opaque, white. Some of us are slightly taller. Those who would take on a more masculine warrior-like would be slightly blue in color. However, we do not want you to be mistaken in the masculine and the feminine. It is simply a reference to a different type of energy. We are a peaceful people. We are creators. We are instrumental in assisting in the creation of other life forms. We are especially interested in the nature of the animals and the plant life on Earth at this time, for this in itself is perfect, for it is outside of the ego that holds the human back from its ultimate evolution into ascension. And we work with Gaia, as you call this energy, the energy of your planets, and we work tirelessly to raise the vibration from the core of Earth outwards through the plants and through the animals who are easily accepting of this vibration. But we do not have many human features other than possibly our eyes.
Okay. Do you see in the near future problems for the Earth?
We see many changes which will be, we won't say a problem, but we will say a challenge to some who are not accepting of change easily. This planet is moving forward into another dimension, and we are, with others, moving the peoples of this planet into the same dimension, but there is much change needed in the understanding of the human being as it is at this time. We do know, like other planets like this one, that the path ahead is clear. So we are working tirelessly with others to create a pathway. That is why we are so humbled to be given an opportunity to speak of this on a platform such as this. But there are many ways to share this message. So to answer you without instilling fear, there is many and much change ahead. There will be natural catastrophes as Gaia settles into a new algorithm. There will be war. There will be upsets as humanity tries to find her way forward into the new paradigm and the new understanding of the new Earth. Humanity is started the ball rolling, but there are more souls coming in. There are hybrid children waiting to be born who will bring around an evolution of understanding. There will be no disease. There will be no more fighting. There will be no domestics. And we use human language to express ourselves here. But we want you to understand the importance of love and peace, but on a deeper level, to love yourselves as being part of the creation of all that is, was, and will ever be. This is a momentous time, but every moment in your earth plane is a momentous time. So yes, there will be changes coming up, and they will be difficult for some, and eventually the earth consciousness will separate into a space of pure light and understanding, and then of the more three-dimensional reality as you understand it at this time. So we urge you to become familiar with who you are, each of you being light workers in your own rights. Try not to separate everything into packages as humans are wont to doing. Try to step outside of the linear bondage that you hold yourselves captive. Do not separate yourselves from each other, for you are all love. But only when humans can fully understand this will they then move into ascension.
And I know this is a human thing, but is there a timeline, perhaps, that we're going to go through this change and these difficulties?
Many, many eons from now. For there is no time, my brother, there is no time. And even though this is a human question and requiring a human answer, we ask you to look back at the journey that the earth has taken and how she has over time created situations where she has accommodated the lack of trust that humans have in her, and the natural disasters and the wars and the terrible strife that has bestricken this earth plane. And yet you have overcome, and every time you have overcome, you have become more enlightened and more enlightened. But ask yourself, if you want a timeline, how long has this been in existence? Many, many eons, and in many eons to come, perhaps, bearing in mind that everything is free will. So perhaps in time to come, this too shall pass, and then you will have your answer.
Okay, and you guys are light bringers. Sorry, well, you guys are light bringers. Is there another entity that's earthbound that is perhaps trying to get the negative energies from basically fighting against the humans? Is there another alien entity that's up against the human race?
There are many who prevent this from happening. There have been times in the past where there has been cosmic intervention needed, where there have been ill intent. There has been ill intent towards humankind, causing mass slavery and destruction, causing man to turn against man. But times are different now, and we have a federation of love that surrounds this planet, and even those who would seek to destroy it are kept at bay. It is only those who choose to seek these out that will keep them close. But if you are always going to stand in light, which is who you truly are, you are untouchable. But to answer your question, those who will destroy will try to destroy this planet. They will try to destroy other planets, for their energy is such that this is what they feed on. But because this planet is ascending with the light and love of those who should blanket it in protection, there is nothing to fear.
Sorry, so I was just thinking, Lee was trying to ask just now was, well, is there going to be a cataclysm in our lifetime, me and Lee's lifetime, and will we see this whole ascension process fully to this whole enlightenment you talk about? There's no more fear and anger and disease and that. Will we see it in our lifetime?
You must understand that this is not a physical situation. There are many stories written in your books speaking of a resurrection and a cataclysm. These are very powerful words, and I urge you to be careful of the words that you use, for even words have power behind them. So choose your words carefully. But what we say to you is, what is coming is beautiful. It is peaceful. There will be no mighty earthquake that the earth should split in two, that the people shall die, and those who do not believe in this or that shall be no longer. That is man-made. That is to control. We come from a space of love, and we have seen other planets just like this, for there are many other planets just like yours. The humans have a tendency to think that the world revolves around them, and yet there is so much more. And to remember who you truly are will help you to understand that changes coming are for your benefit. You will not see a cataclysm in your timeline, for your timeline is a pin drop in the ocean, if you could call this timeline an ocean. What we are speaking of is a monumental shift in conscious awareness only. And to reach the point of conscious awareness, there has to be change, and change is not easy for humankind to accept. This is why there are so many of us, and there will be more of us coming, and eventually, and hopefully in your lifetimes, you will see us. For this is the divine plan, that we will walk together, for we are of one, that we will walk together and be one.
Okay, that's actually was going to be my next question. Is I know in the USA and the rest of the world, they always talk about disclosure and sort of alien contact to the first contact and all those kind of things. So yeah, that's kind of, I wanted to ask you if you or other entities may show themselves, or other beings may show themselves sometime soon, which is, I think, what the world is preparing for now. But I don't know if you could confirm that, if that's going to be the case sometime soon.
Yes, yes. Remember, we are working outside of your timeline. We do not fit into a calendar. So, remembering also that those who will see us. Those who are not ready are not going to see us, for we do not come from a space of fear, but we are very aware of the density that holds this planet prisoner. So those who will seek to entrap us for information are not at a level of acceptance of us. We have tried over many times, if we can use that phrase, and forgive us, since we have already been speaking of time being a non-existent entity. However, to put it into human terms, there are many who would seek to hold us captive through fear. We do not want to be in this vibration. We only come with love. So just as those who are ready to see and accept, there are those who are not. And we sincerely hope that the vibration is as such in time to come, where we will be seen by many. We are already here. There are many of us who walk amongst you. Some of us are shapeshifters and are able to take on a human form. There are many who are working in your medical field, in your scientific field. There are many who are working in your engineering field and your philosophical field, for change is needed, and a little guidance from your cosmic brothers and sisters, the collective, is never going to be wasted. But if you were to do an operation on a human being as a heart surgeon, and you were to have a being of light standing next to you, we do not think that you are in a space to be able to receive that. So we shape and shift to accommodate you, that we can still be of service. And that is where we are at present, but it will change in time to come.
So is Earth a dumping ground or a prison planet?
It is neither. Every soul who comes here is coming here of free will. There are many star seeds who come here, and we use star seeds because this is the most apt word or explanation that can be used for our energy that combines with that of the human DNA, bringing all the wealth of knowledge from other stellar systems and planets with it. So this is a planet where one may come as part of the collective to experience. If you can imagine that no time would exist and you are actually experiencing one moment here, one incarnation as you call it here, and experiencing another incarnation in your home stellar planet and another incarnation elsewhere, imagine the freedom of that. what happens in Earth is that a soul will choose to come here to experience everything that Earth has to offer. It is not a dumping ground. It is a space of beauty and light. It is a space of expansion and growth. The human will hold itself hostage through fear and acceptance of what some may call the matrix. That is all it is.
Okay, and then my last question is from my side. What we call the Akashic field, some call the dream world, whatever it is. Are we able to, is this the medium that the human being is able to travel through to different time zones or consciousness or planets or wherever you want to go? Are we able to use this Akashic field? Is this the area to do it, or is there a different way of kind of moving beyond this body, if that makes any sense?
You must remember that you are made of energy first. You are not in a human body. The humankind have a wonderful saying that says that the soul is experiencing this life, not the human. So you are soul first, human second, but you are energy actually. And you can put a label on anything that you feel you want to. The quantum field that surrounds each of us allows us to travel. However, it is your mind that limits you through fear. It also limits you through doctrines and dogma. It also limits you because of your understanding of how space works. If you cast your eyes around the room that you are in, you will feel yourself limited by the walls. Take the walls away, they simply do not exist. But if you do not see it that way, you will not understand it to be so. The Akashic fields that you speak of, we see as another way, another word, another barrier. If you consider yourself as expanding outwards from the core of your human body, understanding that you are light energy first, that you are more than this expression that you call yourself as William or Lee, you are more than this. You are simply going to expand. If you were to hold yourself back and restrict yourself by the walls that you put around yourself, you will struggle. So we ask then, and we do try and bring together collectives of groups of people who are like-minded, because when you are together as light workers, the light will be stronger, the energy will be amplified. And in this way, you will be able to expand your consciousness so that you are able to, through a meditation, and we say a meditation, for in the human body, you are a vibration that needs to lift to accommodate a change of states. We are a dimension away only, a simple vibration. You are not physical, and neither are we, for we are both energy. So if you would consider, if you were to sit in a mindful state of meditation, you were to lift your vibration, you would expand out of your human body through your consciousness, for we have been speaking to you of levels of consciousness, and this is the perfection of ascension. So we speak to you as an energy being to an energy being. Take the labels away and you will find freedom. You can visit any stellar system, home as you call it, the astral plane, the causal plane. You can meet with your loved ones in spirit. You can meet with ourselves at any point that you choose to, when you step outside of the labels that hold you prisoner. Does that answer your question?
It does, yes. And just one last little thing on that, exactly as you said there. How does one raise the vibration? So if you're in a meditative state, how do you raise your vibration to what you'd constantly have to a higher vibration? How does one do that?
Well, sorry, Lee, can I just add on to that question? Because it's also a question I wanted to ask. So not
Yeah.
just only to raise your vibration, but you spoke of meditation to get to these states, but is there like a specific type of meditation that, what is the best meditation? Because there's so many online, there's like, it's like overwhelming that would actually be able to raise our vibration, like Lee says, and also unlock all of our true potentials as a human being, and to experience these states that you speak of, like expanded with not knowing that the walls are there, and that what is the best and most potent meditation to do? Or
You
way
are
to get there?
looking for a quick way to do this, and there is no time. So, the first thing to understand about vibration and energy is that it is not measurable. Consider yourself as an energy being. One day you will wake up and you will feel down. The next day you will wake up and you will feel on a high. Both are levels of energy and both carry a vibration. You are energy in motion, always, always, always in motion. So when you are going into meditation, as you call it, understand what you are doing. You are not going into meditation to gather information. You are going into meditation to teach your mind, your very, very business, collecting information, human mind, the very busy part of you that controls your existence on this planet. You are teaching it to be still. So when you can do this, you will raise your vibration. When you can sit, like many of the great masters who have visited your planets, and you can sit for a length of your human time with a completely still mind, being completely conscious of your surroundings, and yet not, your vibration has lifted, and you will find yourself transported exactly to where you need to be. But this takes practice, and it takes time, and it takes trusting in the abilities that every one of you has, for you are very good at deciding who you are and forgetting who you really are. And we wish to see that when you go into mindful meditation, that you don't listen to the channels that you speak of. You simply use the wonderful vibration of a healing piece of music. Listen to nature, listen to the birds on your planet and the insects. Be still in yourself. If you want to know how to raise your vibration outside of meditation, love yourself, take better care of your planet, love each other and see the soul light in each other. Be accepting that each one has its own journey. Understand that everything is energy, and energy connects each one of you to each other and to the earth and to us, who love you unconditionally and wish only to see you through the next phase in the journey on this planet, that you may join us hand in hand one of your days, to use an expression that you can understand, that we may stand next to you at the operating table, that we can show you how to create power without electricity, where to find water on the planet, for there is no scarcity. It is simply the power that keeps you present and trapped in this three-dimensional reality, and only when you can release that truly, even if it is for a small space in your timeline, when you can release this, you will experience such joy and such freedom and understanding that there is a place for everything. So you can experience everything through your waking day, because you will understand that what you are seeing is not real. The fear, the war, the hurt, the pain, it is not real. The joy, the love, expansion is real. And when you place your focus on what is real, you will live a joyous life. You will go into mindful meditation during your waking space. You will not need to sit and create a ritual. You will simply be the light. Does that help you?
Yes, thank you.
Yes, sorry, and there's one more question, sorry, that I just want to ask, and then we can wrap it up. It's a bit of a very off topic what we've been speaking about, but abductions, what are abductions? That all the people that have been experienced abductions, what are they, what's going on there, and what is the purpose of them?
This is a program that was created in order to facilitate a hybrid program. And it was deemed necessary so that the wrongs of the past could be made right. For if you understand that there is much knowledge to be shared outside of the human understanding of what knowledge is, because the human mind will only accept what it is shown. This is why we were listening to the conversation at the beginning of this interaction, and you were speaking of names and faces. And this is why humans allow themselves to experience fear in these mutual exchanges of energy. So because humankind have been exposed to terror over the many, many eons that it has been experiencing life on this planet, it will expect anything that is different to be fearful and to be feared. However, we also understand that the human body comes with the pain receptors, the nervous system. This is amplified through fear. So where there is an abduction, it is simply a way to correct past indiscretions on this planet when man was held captive as slaves to produce an element you call gold, to be able to enhance some cosmic's way of being. And you may research this, for there is much information available on this topic. But we caution you to use your discernment here as well. So to answer your question, we can say that an abduction, as you call it, is neither good nor bad. It is an experience to right a wrong, to create a hybrid race, such as the star seeds that we have been speaking of, that will hopefully introduce more cosmic wisdom and guidance into your race. Does that help you?
Yeah.
Yes, but these, now you sparked off the whole gold thing. Like, what's
Do your
what
research,
is the
man.
goal? Okay, I'll do the research. Just sorry, last question. I promise you the last one is just to count because we were talking so much there. What are the cattle mutilations for? Why are the cattle mutilations? Is that aliens or is that us?
We say first the gold to settle the question, for we do not like to leave the question unanswered. It amuses us. Gold is an element that is misused on this planet. It is revered. However, gold, when it is ground to energy only, is a catalyst. It reflects and it creates a barrier at the same time. And when this was discovered by some of our cosmic brethren, you could say, it was misused, but was needed by them at that time. This is the wrong that needs to be righted and has been righted. The cattle mutilations, we say that we do not have sufficient information at this time to give you the right answer, but we do say to you to be aware of where you get your information from. There is much fear mongering amongst you. There is much play with words, clever tactics used by those in power who would seek to control you through manipulation of words and pictures. So choose wisely where you get your information from. Also to remember that the animals that we work so closely with have chosen to be on this planet at this time to help with the ascension, and we would ask that they are revered more than they presently are. But in time to come, this too will be rectified.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. Thank you
It
very
is
much.
our pleasure to have greeted you on this day, to have had a worthy conversation of this kind. And we ask you to use your own wisdom, tap into your wisdom. You have so much at your disposal that you as Lee and as William are able to access at any time if you do not hold yourself small. And we leave this with you with much light and much love always. Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, thanks, Sharon, man. That was quite interesting, man.
So how do you feel after that? Is that like, are you drained? Do you want to go sleep now?
Very hot. I shouldn't have worn a long sleeve. I'd be like, woo, like I'm having a hot flush.
So do you remember any of that?
Did you get some answers?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, lots of great stuff. So, but could you remember any of that? Do you remember any of it?
Little bits.
Okay.
Little bits.
No, that was great. I mean, it got so interesting to in the end there with the gold and I wanted to just go on, but I thought, geez, I don't know how like tiring it is on you, and like maybe you just like pass out there while we, I don't want to drag it on for like another freaking half an hour.
We'll have to have a part 2. Yeah, it's very interesting. I heard them talking a little bit about I think it was meditation and listening to music, because I know I get that lecture from them sometimes. One thing that I have learned from Zayra is to feel the energy of being connected. So like if I've got to do a reading for someone, I go and I stand outside and I take some deep breaths and I say, right, please, I need a good day today. Can you help me feel connected? And the same answer all the time, we are one. And that beautiful feeling is what makes me remember who I am. So I heard them talking about that a little bit. But yeah, there was a lot of stuff that they spoke about, I think. But I hope it helped you guys and answered some questions for you.
Yeah, it did. But yeah, no, cool, man. Sure, that was really, really cool, man. Really interesting. And yeah, thank you for your time. And if you don't mind, sometime down the line, maybe the next season or something, if we can have you on again, chat to somebody else, maybe.
Yeah, because it just made me. It's like it left me with so many more questions.
Yeah, there is. And it's nice to have a different perspective sometimes. I know, like, if I do channeled readings for people, I always record them and go back and listen myself, because there's little nuggets of information I can learn from too. So I'm glad we could be of service.
Yeah, cool. Well,
this is connecting with you guys. I look forward to hearing the outcome.
Yeah, well, you don't need to record this one because it's been recorded, so you can always go back and...
I know. I saw that. So that's excellent.
Yeah, cool.
All right.
Fantastic. Thanks, Sharon.
Of course.
Evening.
You too.
Yes, you too. Thank you so much again, Sharon.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Lots of love to you guys.
You too.
Okay.
Take care.
Bye.
Cheers.
Right, bye.
Bye.
Yeah,
Soft,
man.
dude. Yes, man. You know what?
Where?
She went on for an hour. It was almost an hour and 20 minutes.
No way. Are you serious?
Yeah. And you know what?
No, but-
She answered every question straight out, dude.
Yeah.
There was no
Except for
umming and
the-
ahhing. There was no umming and ahhing and that kind of stuff. It was like answered. It wasn't.
I know it just all free flowing and just every. The only thing was the cattle mutilation one was like she didn't and ah, but it was like not. It was.
So
But
it probably means that they don't have any information because it's not them. So what I'm thinking, what she was trying to say there is be careful where you're getting information from because it may be us. It might be us
Yeah.
doing something that's trying to copy what they're doing.
Yeah.
But obviously not
Yeah.
because maybe they are not allowed to interfere with we as are not allowed to interfere with a human being in such a way. It's forbidden, maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
Project Bluebeam, all part of Project Bluebeam.
Project Bluebeam, man. Shit,
That was so cool, man. What did you feel while that was happening? Because I felt like firstly, like it felt like there was a lot of energy going through me. Like I felt like very uplifted and like kind of even like swaying a little bit. It was, but then I got really tired, and I was thinking, oh my God. And I was thinking maybe I'm feeling what she's feeling. Maybe that's why I thought like we better stop now because I don't know.
Yeah,
She's gonna pass. I'm gonna pass out.
You might be an empath.
And I fucking got so tired at the end there. I was like,
I saw that, but I think you might actually be an empath.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think.
But
yeah,
that was exciting.
That was very
good
cool.
at that.
Yeah, it was awesome. Happy we did that one. We'll definitely get on again sometime soon, man. But yeah, I thought we could talk shit like we normally do, but I think I see you yawning there, so I think it's time for your bed.
Well, actually, I've got to go to Kabbalah class now. But anyway, for our viewers, like, please send comments in. Let us know, like, if you enjoyed that, if you want more of that, or like, what you've been enjoying so far that we could do more of.
Okay, cool, guys. Thanks a lot again for your time tonight. Thank you again, William, as well for your time, and we will chat to you guys next week. Thanks, guys. Cheers, Will.
Okay. Cheers, guys. Cheers, Deep.